Now to an important recall for Wawa shoppers. Chain is recalling 3 types of drinks over potential foreign object contamination. The recalled beverages.
Wawa is recalling strawberry lemonade for foreign object contamination. And it's not the only one. In the last 5 years, major lemon juice brands sold at Walmart, Target, and Kroger have been exposed in lawsuits for false advertising, undeclared preservatives, and misleading health claims. Some contain cancer-linked chemicals like yellow 5 and red 40. Others are made from concentrate and loaded with preservatives that can form benzene, a known carcinogen, when combined with vitamin C. According to the FDA's Adverse Event Reporting System, there have been over 2,400 complaints related to lemon juice and lemonade products in the last 3 years alone. These complaints range from allergic reactions to gastrointestinal distress to concerns about misleading labeling. Today, we're counting down the 10 deceptive lemon juice brands Americans should never buy, and revealing the 4 safe alternatives you can trust. Starting with number 10, ReaLemon. For a brand that calls itself ReaLemon and advertises 100% juice, you'd expect it to be just that, real lemon juice. Nothing more, nothing less. But a March 2025 class action lawsuit filed in Delaware federal court alleges that's not the case. The lawsuit claims that Mott's, the company behind ReaLemon, is deceiving American consumers by marketing the product as real and natural when it contains artificial preservatives like sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfite. The front label, with its bright yellow color, images of fresh lemons, and the promise of juice of about 2 quality lemons, reinforces this natural image. American consumers see that label and think they're getting pure, natural lemon juice. But the lawsuit points out that this is a violation of FDA regulations, which require products labeled 100% juice to disclose non-juice ingredients like preservatives on the front label. Instead, Mott's uses the vague phrase, "with added ingredients." What does "with added ingredients" mean? Most consumers have no idea. They see 100% juice and assume it's pure lemon juice. What's even more deceptive is that the company uses different labeling for the small packets sold to restaurants, which do disclose the presence of preservatives. This suggests a deliberate attempt to mislead retail consumers who are willing to pay more for what they believe is a natural product. Think about that. The restaurant packets tell the truth, the retail bottles don't. The lawsuit is seeking damages on behalf of all consumers who purchased ReaLemon in the last 4 years, which could amount to millions of dollars. But more importantly, it's seeking to force Mott's to change its labeling practices and be honest with American consumers about what's actually in the bottle. ReaLemon is one of the most recognizable lemon juice brands in America, found at Walmart, Target, Kroger, Safeway, and virtually every grocery store from coast to coast. Millions of American families have this bottle in their refrigerator right now. They're using it in their tea, their recipes, their salad dressings, thinking they're making healthy choices. But they're being deceived. And that deception leads us to number 9, Great Value Lemon Juice. Walmart's house brand, Great Value, offers a lemon juice that also claims to be 100% juice. It's sold in the same familiar green plastic lemon-shaped bottle, and it's positioned as a budget-friendly alternative to ReaLemon. While it's cheaper, usually priced at around $2 compared to ReaLemon's $3 to $4, the question is what you're really getting for that lower price. Like ReaLemon, the concern here is the potential for undeclared or misleadingly labeled preservatives. While the label may say 100% juice, the reality is that many bottled lemon juices use preservatives to extend shelf life and prevent discoloration. Walmart is the largest retailer in America, with over 4,600 stores across the country. Great Value is Walmart's private label brand, and it's everywhere. American consumers trust Walmart to provide safe, affordable products. But when it comes to lemon juice, that trust may be misplaced. The problem with store brands like Great Value is the fundamental lack of transparency. It's often impossible to know where the lemons are sourced from, how the juice is processed, how old it is, or what quality controls are in place. Walmart contracts with various suppliers, and those suppliers can change from batch to batch. One batch might be fine. The next batch might be loaded with preservatives. Consumer Reports has noted that private label products often have less stringent quality control than name brands, and that the sourcing can be inconsistent. For a product as simple as lemon juice, this shouldn't be a problem. But when companies are cutting corners to keep prices low, quality suffers. For American families trying to make healthy choices on a budget, this lack of consistency and transparency is a serious problem. And that brings us to number 8, Minute Maid Lemonade. Minute Maid is a household name, owned by Coca-Cola and sold at virtually every grocery store, gas station, and convenience store in America. Their lemonade is marketed as a refreshing, fruity drink that kids and adults love. But Minute Maid Lemonade is a cocktail of concerning ingredients. First, it contains high fructose corn syrup, a major contributor to obesity, type 2 diabetes, and metabolic disease. The American Heart Association recommends limiting added sugars to no more than 25 grams per day for women and 36 grams per day for men. Yet a single 12-ounce serving of Minute Maid Lemonade contains 40 grams of sugar. That's 10 teaspoons of sugar in one glass. That's more sugar than a Snickers bar. But the bigger issue is the presence of sodium benzoate and yellow 5. Sodium benzoate is a preservative that's been used in food and beverages for decades. On its own, it's generally recognized as safe by the FDA. But when sodium benzoate is combined with ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C, it can form benzene. Benzene is a known human carcinogen. It's been linked to leukemia and other blood cancers. The EPA has set strict limits on benzene in drinking water because of its cancer risk. The maximum contaminant level for benzene in drinking water is 5 parts per billion. And guess what? Lemonade contains both sodium benzoate and ascorbic acid. That means there's a potential for benzene formation, especially if the product is exposed to heat or light during shipping or storage. In 2006, the FDA tested 100 soft drinks and found that 10 of them contained benzene levels above the EPA's limit for drinking water. While the FDA claimed the levels were not a health concern, independent researchers disagreed. Dr. Michael Jacobson, executive director of the Center for Science in the Public Interest, stated that even low levels of benzene can increase cancer risk over a lifetime of consumption. Then there's yellow 5, also known as tartrazine. It's a petroleum-derived food dye that gives the lemonade its bright yellow color. Yellow 5 has been linked to hyperactivity in children, allergic reactions, and even DNA damage. The Environmental Working Group lists yellow 5 as one of its top food additives of concern. In Europe, products containing yellow 5 must carry a warning label that says, "may have an adverse effect on activity and attention in children." In America, no such warning is required. A 2007 study published in The Lancet found that artificial food dyes, including yellow 5, were associated with increased hyperactivity in children. The study led to calls for stricter regulations in the United States, but the FDA has refused to take action. Minute Maid Lemonade is marketed to families and children. It's sold in school cafeterias, vending machines, and lunchboxes across America, and it contains ingredients that have been linked to cancer and behavioral problems in children. And that same pattern of deception continues with number 7, Simply Lemonade. Coca-Cola's Simply Lemonade brand markets itself as all natural. The label features images of fresh lemons, and the marketing emphasizes simplicity, purity, and natural ingredients. American consumers see that label and think they're getting a healthier, more natural alternative to Minute Maid. But the ingredient list tells a different story. It contains natural flavors, a vague term that can hide a multitude of sins. Under FDA regulations, natural flavors can include dozens of different chemical compounds, as long as they're derived from natural sources. But derived from natural sources doesn't mean they're simple or pure. It just means they started with something natural before being heavily processed in a lab. The term natural flavors is one of the most misleading phrases in the food industry. It sounds healthy and wholesome, but it's actually a loophole that allows companies to hide complex chemical formulations. According to the book The Dorito Effect by Mark Schatzker, natural flavors are often just as processed and artificial as synthetic flavors. The only difference is the starting material. A natural flavor might be derived from a plant or animal source, but it's been so heavily processed that it bears no resemblance to the original ingredient. While the company claims there are no preservatives, the ambiguity of natural flavors leaves room for doubt. Simply Lemonade is sold at premium prices at stores like Whole Foods, Target, and Kroger. American consumers are paying more, often $4 to $5 per bottle, because they believe they're getting a healthier, more natural product. But are they? This lack of transparency is a huge problem with our next brand. Number 6. Nellie Joe's Key West Lemon Juice. Sold at Publix and other specialty stores, Nellie Joe's Key West Lemon Juice positions itself as a premium product. The label features tropical imagery and emphasizes the Key West heritage, suggesting authenticity and quality. But it contains sodium benzoate, the same preservative that can form benzene when combined with vitamin C. Customer reviews on Amazon and other sites also complain that the juice tastes too concentrated, too sour, and totally different from fresh squeezed lemon juice. One reviewer wrote, "This tastes nothing like real lemon juice. It's way too sour and has a chemical aftertaste. I threw it out after one use." Another said, I bought this thinking it would be a good substitute for fresh lemons, but it's terrible. The flavor is off and it has a weird smell. This is because it's made from concentrate, a heavily processed product that loses many of the nutrients, enzymes, and fresh flavor found in fresh juice. Here's how concentrate is made. Fresh lemon juice is heated to evaporate most of the water, leaving behind a thick, concentrated syrup. This syrup is then shipped to bottling facilities where water is added back in to reconstitute the juice. The problem is that the heating process destroys many of the beneficial compounds in fresh lemon juice, including vitamin C, enzymes, and antioxidants. What you're left with is a product that's technically lemon juice, but it's a pale shadow of the real thing. Studies have shown that juice from concentrate can lose up to 50% of its vitamin C content during processing, and the enzymes that aid in digestion and provide other health benefits are completely destroyed by the heat. And that brings us to number 5, Charles Boggini Company Lemonade. In June 2024, the Charles Boggini Company recalled 4 of its soda products, including pink lemonade and yellow lemonade, for failing to declare the presence of artificial coloring. The lemonades contained undeclared red 40 and yellow 5, both of which have been associated with allergic reactions, migraines, and potential behavioral effects in children. This is a classic example of a company cutting corners and putting consumers at risk. Red 40 is the most widely used food dye in America. It's in everything from candy to soda to baked goods, but studies have linked it to hyperactivity in children, allergic reactions, and even cancer in animal studies. A 2012 study published in the journal Clinical Pediatrics found that red 40 was one of the most common triggers for behavioral problems in children with ADHD. Yellow 5, as we've already discussed, is also problematic. The fact that these dyes were undeclared means that consumers had no idea they were consuming them. People with allergies to these dyes could have had serious reactions. Parents trying to avoid artificial dyes for their children had no way of knowing they were in the product. This is not just deceptive, it's dangerous. The FDA's recall notice stated that the products were distributed in New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. That's millions of potential consumers in the tri-state area who could have purchased these products. And the deception doesn't stop there. Number 4, Cliff Beverage Works Lemonade. In January 2025, Cliff Beverage Works recalled over 16,000 units of its beverage-based lemonade due to the presence of undeclared yellow 5. The recall was classified as a Class 2 risk by the FDA, meaning there's a low but possible chance of adverse health effects. The affected products were distributed in 8 states: Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, Kansas, Missouri, Tennessee, and Mississippi. That's thousands of consumers across the South and Midwest who purchased this product thinking it was safe. The recall notice stated that the product was labeled as beverage-based lemonade, 3-gallon, with a best-by date of December 12, 2025. The product was sold to restaurants, cafeterias, and food service operations, meaning it was being served to customers who had no idea what they were drinking. This is another example of undeclared artificial dyes, putting consumers at risk. And that brings us to number 3, True Lemon. In October 2020, a class action lawsuit was filed against Grand Brands Incorporated, the maker of True Lemon powdered drink mixes, for marketing the products as naturally flavored, despite containing malic acid, an artificial ingredient. True Lemon is marketed as a convenient, healthy alternative to bottled lemon juice. The packets are sold at grocery stores, health food stores, and online, and they're marketed to health-conscious consumers who want to add lemon flavor to their water without the hassle of squeezing fresh lemons. The label prominently features the phrase naturally flavored, which suggests that the product is made from natural ingredients. But the lawsuit alleges that malic acid, one of the key ingredients, is not natural. It's synthetically produced in a lab. Malic acid is used to add tartness and acidity to the product, mimicking the natural acidity of fresh lemon juice. But it's not derived from lemons or any other natural source. It's made through a chemical process. The lawsuit claims that consumers paid a premium price for True Lemon because they believed it was a natural product. Had they known it contained synthetic ingredients, they would not have purchased it or would have paid less for it. This is another example of a company using misleading language to trick consumers into thinking they're buying a natural product when they're actually buying something that's heavily processed and contains synthetic ingredients. And this lack of transparency is a huge problem with our next category. Number 2, store brands in general. We've already mentioned Walmart's great value, but the problem is widespread across all major retailers. Target's Good and Gather lemon juice, Kroger's Simple Truth lemon juice, Safeway's O Organics lemon juice, Trader Joe's lemon juice, Whole Foods 365 brand lemon juice. Many of these store brands contain preservatives like sodium benzoate and sulfites and are made from concentrate. They're often the cheapest option on the shelf, but you're paying a price in terms of your health. The fundamental problem with store brands is the lack of transparency and consistency. Retailers contract with various suppliers, and those suppliers can change from batch to batch. One batch might be fine, the next batch might be loaded with preservatives or made from low-quality concentrate. It's often impossible to know where the lemons are sourced from, how the juice is processed, how old it is, or what quality controls are in place. For American consumers trying to make informed choices about what they put in their bodies, this lack of transparency is unacceptable. And the riskiest choice of all is our number one spot. Number 1. Any lemon juice with a long shelf life. If a bottled lemon juice can sit on a shelf for months or even years without changing color, that's a huge red flag. It means it's loaded with preservatives. Fresh lemon. Juice will start to oxidize and turn brown within a few days, even when refrigerated. The vitamin C in the juice reacts with oxygen in the air, causing discoloration. This is a natural process. The fact that bottled lemon juices don't turn brown is a testament to the chemical cocktail they contain. Sodium benzoate, sodium metabisulfite, potassium sorbate, and other preservatives are added to prevent oxidation and extend shelf life. But these preservatives come with health risks. As we've discussed, sodium benzoate can form benzene, a carcinogen. Sulfites can cause allergic reactions, especially in people with asthma. The FDA estimates that about 1% of the population is sensitive to sulfites, and that percentage is higher among asthmatics. When you see a bottle of lemon juice with a shelf life of 12 months or more, ask yourself, how is this possible? Real lemon juice doesn't last that long. The answer is preservatives. Lots of them. So, what can you do to protect yourself and your family? Here are 4 safe alternatives you can trust. Number 1, squeeze your own. It's the only way to be 100% sure what's in your lemon juice. It's fresh, it's natural, and it's free of preservatives and artificial ingredients. A single lemon yields about 2 to 3 tablespoons of juice, and it takes less than a minute to squeeze. For the health of your family, it's worth the extra effort. You can buy a simple handheld citrus squeezer for less than $10 at any kitchen store or on Amazon. Number 2, Santa Cruz Organic. This brand is certified USDA organic and non-GMO project verified. It's made from 100% juice, not from concentrate, and it doesn't contain any preservatives. It's sold at Whole Foods, natural food stores, and online. While it's more expensive than conventional brands, usually around $6 to $7 per bottle, you're paying for quality and transparency. Number 3, look for not from concentrate. If you must buy bottled lemon juice, look for brands that are not from concentrate. This means they're less processed and more likely to be pure juice. Check the label carefully and make sure there are no preservatives listed in the ingredients. Number 4, check the ingredients. Always read the label. If you see sodium benzoate, sodium metabisulfite, yellow 5, red 40, or any other ingredients you can't pronounce, put it back on the shelf. The ingredient list should be short and simple. Lemon juice. That's it. Your health is too important to trust these deceptive brands. By making informed choices, you can protect yourself and your family from the hidden dangers lurking in your pantry.